What up, though? So, I just want to go over the basics. I know you most likely, it doesn't matter, know it or not. You're watching this video, cosmically timed, intuitive inkling. Look, as soon as I gotta make the video, look. 0, which represents infinity, God, and then 333. Look up 333. Fuck it. Look up 0333. But anyway, so it seems real complex. So you think, and it seems crazy, but just remember this. This reality, like that phone, your hand, your skin, pen, going to boo boo, eat, emotions, being mad, plastic bags, the air, the sky, the moon, the sun. None of that shit is real. Just as real as this reality is, it's 100 times more not real. The sensation and experiences that connect you and that we're having in this reality, like hearing my voice and understanding words and all this shit and the history of this world and physiology and biology and all the knowledge. All that shit is to support the program. What we're experiencing literally is many different examples you can use. But think about the movie Tron. I never saw it. I always wanted to see it when I was a kid, but I never saw it. But I've seen little parodies of it. And it's exactly like that to a certain degree. We're literally living, we energy balls, sources, and we just flashing all over a fucking, board. But at the same time, the board is not there. When you think about what the brain is and how it's made up, liken it to a computer, and then you flatten it. Imagine the brain flattened. That's what we're living in and on. What you want to call the creator's imagination and emotional attachment to its imagination. Perfect example. I think it was a video I made last night. I don't know. But anyway, I mentioned before, and I'm using this. You know how you want to do something that you don't, let's say have sex with somebody that you had sex with before. You didn't, but you're gonna have sex with them. You feel like, this is it. I'm fucking tonight. And before you do it, you imagine shit. You think about it beforehand. And you get physically and emotionally aroused. You get invested. What you mean I get invested? You wash your ass again. You might put some different clothes on to go over there or clean up before they come. You invest. You understand? And it's played out in the 3D. It's made reality. But it all started in your mind. But you had physical evidence of what you were thinking because your dick got hard. You know what I mean? That's the same thing with the thing that created this whole thing. So it is a physical place and all of that, but it's not as real as you think it is. So fast forward. Religion, God, the devil, Allah, Yahweh, any God that people bow down and worship to or been to a place where they, all that came from somebody's mind for whatever reason. I'm not saying that, a lot of that shit is not real at all. Like Jesus and all of that shit ain't real. It's an example of people like us that go the way. You know what I mean? But it's not real at all. And I don't even want to really get into that part. But what I'm telling you is, so when Source had this imagination, thought about what it would be like. So it started making itself. Think about this too. It's all concepts. Imagine Source. Source is all everything. Except one thing Source can't do is make itself a body. Like, fuck itself. Not understand. Your mother, my mother, our fathers, this car, the phone, all this shit is literally the creator. All of it. All of it. Is Source experiencing itself on every level. People like you and I were in it, was created for Source to have outward emotional, intellectual, physical relationship and experience with itself, getting more gratification with your acceptance, with your willingness, energetically vibrate with you 100% and experiencing tasting food, drinking water, having sex, all of that. And I know you could think like, well, I thought you said Source was everything, so that means Source is living in these other people. But it's a different maturity level of the energy that live inside of them. Because just because Source itself becoming aware of itself inside of you doesn't make you Source itself. Source trying to duplicate itself. Because everything in this whole reality and realm and other realms have levels of intelligence to do certain things. So when Source meets somebody that's already, that's why I was making the video last night saying that you have to want it. But it have to be programmed in you. But it have to mature. But you got to make your own decision to want the relationship, and Source merge. And I know this sounds crazy. Source merges with you more and more and more and more. Now, how do you know? Through the information. Because we live in this realm. The cosmic information, the cosmic connection have to be for you. It's already confirmed inside of you. But because no one you ever knew can explain this to you, Source have to bring you knowledge that blows you away so much that you look into it, and your faithfulness looking into it, you start seeing how it's more common than you thought, and it's making the 3D connection with you. Like, yes, this is real here. You're not wrong. I know it sounds crazy. So, that's why the whole religious play went down. It's like school. Everything is school. But this is what I'm saying. Like, you know how you go to school? School is set up to teach you how to be in part of the system. And it's also set up to find out who is really good learners and innovators. So it's a tool to put us in the system and weed out the ones that can help the system operate better. Like basketball players, football players, scientists, doctors, musicians. All that shit is in the school institutions, so you can go through the school and they keep you monitored and use you as an example to make other children want to excel that have that capability or capacity. So with church, with religion, it had to be set up a filtering system for those that were really called to follow the invisible. So just think, I never would have probably figured this out if I hadn't went to church and, you know, studied Islam and all that shit. I'm just trying to give you a quick little synopsis of how this shit is set up, because it's on every level. That's why I said last night that's why the water is fucked up. And people are thinking like, and I understand because I thought like this too, and it's right, but it's only right to a certain maturity level. Source knows how powerful it is, and Source knows the capabilities of a person that's been made, and if they find out certain shit, what they can do. So the tests have to seem harder. Like, it's a way around the water and all that shit. Listen, it's certain shit that we do that prime us for this. Like, I know some people that's not into working out and eating healthy at all. They do what they can, but they're not finna go, be on a workout regimen. But they've been studying and reading and trying to think outside the box while they're still in the box for years. They was priming themselves for this. Then you got some people, because that's all energy, and you making you know. Then you got some people that's not into the studying and reading and looking shit up and religion and all that, but they into their body. They try to drink clean water as possible. They try to eat right and all that shit and exercise. That's like reading and writing for the body. So what they was doing was getting themselves ready too, because they didn't know. And I'm gonna tie this together. Like, so before I came to Texas, I was living in Michigan. And something in my mind told me, like, nigga, it's lead in the water, because I kept hearing about lead being in the water in certain places. And I ended up finding out through coworkers and shit about alkaline water, and then I found out about how they can make it fresh, and it supposedly through the machines take out the toxins, or at least a lot of the toxins, out of the water. So I started buying that water, and I felt better. Like, I looked so much younger. And then I was working out, and me and my partner, we used to always drink a lot of water and get in the sauna and sweat. So, what that's doing is taking a lot of toxins out your body. Don't get me wrong, I still was taking shit in. But it's different. Fast forward, I left Michigan, keeping up with Michigan news. I was looking at the news one day, and I seen how they closed one of the Michigan schools, Detroit schools, down because they found lead in the water. And Q said, see, it's lead in the water. And you would think, like, if it's lead in the water, just think. What people think? If they find lead in the school water in Detroit, what, the school got its own water source? Hell no. If it's lead in the school water, it's lead in all the water. It's the old infrastructure. You can tell, because when it get real cold, the pipes bust, because the pipes was probably made 100 years ago. And it's lead and all that shit. But all I'm saying is, you get primed. Perfect example. I'm not a violent person. I did some violent shit. But going to jail, being in an abusive relationship, like I was abused as a kid, and I stayed on punishment. Like, nigga, I used to be locked up before I got locked up. And it gave me time to think by myself. And I'm a lot. Moving a lot growing up, not having no real friends, because anytime I make friends, time to move and shit. Be feeling lonely all the time, feeling like something more was going on in the world, and ain't nobody telling me going to church. Like, why these people in church, Jack, just as bad as the people that don't go to church? And most of them act worse. What the fuck, all that shit was building me up, priming me. So all this shit go together, is what I'm saying. I'm sorry I made the video so long. I hope anybody who lasted this long, this shit is for you. And it's real simple, but it's complex. Because you taught the opposite. But the knowledge is out here. And knowledge is not what you think it is. Knowledge is dark, is deep, and it never stops. So you're not trying to get all the knowledge. You just want to know all you need to know. All you supposed to know. Because you hear, it's about you until you get these concepts. And then after you find out, it's about everybody else. And that's when you start graduating. 1.